Right. Okay, guys, sorry, I'm not going to play music and all these things. I'm actually at work and I'm busy working. I'm just fortunate that I work from home today, and I've got systems running in the background and things working in my favor. So I've got a few minutes to actually do a bit of a stream. And the main purpose of the stream is this is actually a test flight. So after Zibo worked on and released fix 13, we picked up two major issues. Well, major I suppose is also subjective, but anyway, two things that created a bit of a problem. So between me and Sasso, we figured it out. Zibo got involved and he's given us, in fact, this is the second fix for the day that he's already given us. So Zibo, thank you very much. I know you're going to watch the stream later, so thank you very much for that. We do appreciate it. And I'm going to do an ILS approach this time, because we know that's where the problem came in. It's a short 1 hour hop from this place to Perth. I'm not going to try pronounce these Australian names again. I got taken out because of cans. I don't know. It boggles my mind. Sorry, Steel. Anyway, so we're flying from this Kalgoorlie Boulder. I'm taking a chance there. Wink, wink. Just down to Perth quickly. So there we go. This is 14B. Just to get it on a record. There you go, 14B, and non-public obviously, and we're gonna go create a test flight with this one. So let's see. Chronic, it's basically the same in the real world, eh? That those two never are 100% okay. I think the explanation that was given probably 2 years ago to me, so I might, I've forgotten some of the explanation, but basically the one is solely based on a barometer reading, while the other one has got some electronic influence. So, that's why the one is a standby. It's not supposed to be 100% correct, eh? Right, so let's quickly grab my dispatch here. Right, which way do we push? Didn't check, I didn't check. Not much you can do. I'm gonna take some artistic license. I'm just gonna do this, whatever. In the real world, I trust the ground crew will know what to do.
Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Right, so they can clean up a little bit while we're gonna load up.
Flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
Nice little pit stop. Flying from Alice Springs or Darwin or one of these places, it's one heck of a flight to go down to the coast. So this is quite amazing to have a nice place like this, somewhere in the middle. Well, you know what I mean. Halfway, somewhere in the middle, maybe not precise, but you know what I mean. Alright, okay, so we want that, we want those ones. We can actually go to on. Right, let's see. I mapped some of my buttons. Yeah, you hold on to your horses, Poppy. We'll get to you. I've mapped some of my buttons here to some of these switches, and believe it or not, I find it more difficult than I thought to remember where they are. And one of the issues I have is some of these switches have 3 positions, while the rockers only have a up and a down, on and off, whatever you want to call it. And so we'll see. Right. Let's continue. To whites. Okay, so once those 2 things go white, we can switch on the yaw damper. Alright, I think that is done. While I'm typing that, I need to quickly remember to start ACARS. ACARS is not running. Okay, let's start up.
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to use ILS Zulu on 24. That's correct. That's correct. Right, so this will be heading select takeoff. There is no SID available. And we're just going to quickly step through. Right, Kuri, then yes. Okay. Right. Yeah, let's switch you off. Don't need you, don't need you. So this is my last leg of this Australian New Zealand tour. The next leg is going to be in New Zealand. I think there's like 4 or 5 flights there that I need to do. And one of my favorite flights is flying there into Queenstown. If you guys haven't done that yet and you need a challenge, please try flying into Queenstown. But be careful of the trick. Remember, you need to use the correct approaches, and you need to make sure if you fly the Zibo level up to use Class C charts. It's totally different than Class A and B, so don't cheat. Just go try your luck. Let me know how it went for you. Apparently we're doing 30,000. Okay. I'm alight. Aha. Well, look, in all fairness, my usual streams are much later. It's 12:40 in Johannesburg PM, 12:40 PM, and I usually only fly at 1800. So there's like 6 hours and 40 minutes that I'm too early. Well, make it 6 hours, give or take. All right, so, but anyway, welcome. Yeah, no, it's middle of the day, mate, middle of the day. Jello, because this is a purposeful test flight for Zibo. I did explain it in the beginning of this stream. It is purposefully for Zibo. Unable cruise altitude. What? Let's try again. Unable cruise altitude. Why? Why? Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's go for 280. We can always adjust in the air. As long as we can get in, it's fine. Insufficient fuel. I don't think so. Don't think so. Yeah, no problem. That's why I'm just telling you. I'm like, there's certain things I can't talk about. It's putting me in a difficult position. I've got the latest test model. If you go look at the last flight I did, that was the latest test model. So it wasn't working then. Okay, there's a clue for you. Okay, we'll see what happens. Arthur, good day. I am from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm currently in Johannesburg, South Africa. The teams, however, we multinational. I mean, most of the guys are actually either in Europe or Australia or the US. So, I mean, it's all over the world. We all work together on Discord, man. Distance and time means nothing for us. Right, so let's bump up 45 on the SEL temperature today. Maybe a little bit more. What's 50 gonna do for us? That's maybe a little bit too much. Let's go for 48. Yeah, it's hot, man, and this runway is not that long, so we better keep up the speed there. Enough power to get off so we don't crash.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
Okay, so we're going to go up to 280 and then we'll probably do a step climb then all on our lands himself there just to make sure that we do our thing. Right, okay, we're going to take off runway 29 and heading is 290. Right, 28, right, heading select, we're going to arm that one so long.
Trim up.
Captain has turned the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take their
Great
seat at
news,
this
Captain.
time
Your
and
tow's
fasten
coming.
their seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until all carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
By the way, if any of you do own Linda, she was updated a few days ago. It was only released like yesterday or the day before, but she was updated a few days ago. So you can grab the update from the forum there by Chart Design.
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Right. Before start procedure. Arthur, yeah.
Procedure.
What happened was one of the pilots, Sasso, and I'm not sure if anybody else did, but I know he started speaking about it. Started talking about the reference speeds and what happens at the runway and in the legs page and what happens in your descent page. There were quite a few things that had to be brought up to standard to match the real aircraft. So in all of that process, Zibo actually performed another one of his miracles, but some of the code went a bit awry with Fix 13. So basically last night we issued the first update for us guys to test. I tested mine this morning. I was the first guy to report back. Then we discovered that with different approaches, you sometimes have the runway in your legs page and sometimes there's no reference to the runway in your legs page. And basically that presented another problem, but it wasn't just one problem. It manifested in 3 different problems. So Zibo had to go and analyze the code to get everything the way it should be, because it effectively came down to this. When I did my test flight, I didn't have the problem, but Sasso did this morning, and then we realized it's got something to do with that runway either being in there or not being in there. So the big things, it's big for us because it makes the aircraft more realistic. It's now supposed to be fixed with this fix, that we don't get bold writing in the legs page and in the values there, and that we actually get the correct reference speed at the runway and during the descent and things like that. So I'll run through a couple of those things as I fly, because I obviously want it on record. Then the other thing is, there is a user that reported to me that the minimums call out seems to be not working. So what I did was, I think this is what he said. I'm going to quickly show you guys. I went and I set my minimum call out to minimums, and then I've got it on minimum. Now I'm pretty sure I did the test flights with that one. Minimums works, but I want to have it also on video that we can hear, if we can hear the word minimum, and then obviously I'll do a test flight later on to test minimums. So I think that one seems to be broken. So we're going to just look through this situation. Okay, well, Chronic, there you go. You see, so that's the kind of stuff that I'm just going to go run through. Chronic, yeah, that's a thing that's been with Linda from day one, is this little value of 1 that goes astray. I don't know. Anyway.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
And just for the record, just because we are talking about it, we've initiated the process of getting Linda into level up as well. So it needs to run a bit of a course, because there are certain people that are allowed to make changes. I figured out how to make the change. Between me and Zibo and Google, it was easy enough to get the object into the right place and things like that. But in level up, Zibo is not the authority and I'm not the authority, so we can't do those kind of things on their behalf. They need to now put Linda's object into the ACF file. We'll send that file back to Eugenie, and then they can start the development section of Linda to get her into level up as well. Yeah, Chronic, your OCD, you just be careful it doesn't kill you. I've got the same problem, man. If I see something that I know is not right, it kind of bugs me. So I also report a whole bunch of things, but not everybody thinks the same is as important as the next thing. Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Antonio, that's a good idea, but it's easy enough to save a flight on a 10-mile final and just, rerun it. It's not that difficult. I must just remember to do it. That's the thing I usually forget. Then I have to set up a new flight.
N2.
Yeah, Chronic, but that's why the forum is there. It's all good and well. People send PMs and put it on Facebook and all, but things get lost, man. And ultimately, the stuff that goes to the forum gets put in the bug tracker, and that's what we want. So just always remember, if you want to help, anybody can help. Just put the stuff on the forum. That's where it gets picked up.
Ready for before taxi procedure. Flaps 5 set.
I actually did not make a map for this flight. I just realized. It's okay. We don't need that really. We can maybe make it in the air. I can't use Linda for everything. Chronic, I'll go mad. Her SOP and my SOP. Oh, you know what? I think this guy is still connected to us.
And we're disconnected,
I'm sorry.
so give me just a moment.
Her SOP and my SOP is not exactly the same, and she confuses me, and I think I confuse her. So yeah, I don't do some of the things. The other thing is the before taxi procedure, for instance. For some reason, she does not recognize when I do the actual rudder test, pedal test, when I step on my pedals here, and then I kind of get stuck. So yeah. Yes, Arthur, she's voice controlled and button control. If you look on the screen here at the top left, I just move it out of my way. This is the voice widget, so it's got all the procedures, the checklists, and all the different commands. Like that's the one setting your trim for takeoff. It still uses the Airbus, THS, but that's for trim, for instance. All I do is I just move it out of the way, because even when I hide it with a button, I've assigned a button to hide it, it's still not click through. You can't click through it. So if that thing goes and sits on the buttons where you need to turn or click something, you can't. So I've just learned to move it out of the way, and then you've got a button to press to talk to her, so I can press the button. Hello.
Hello, Cap.
Yeah. So that is doable. All of the commands that you can use from text is also available here in voice. Right, okay, so, and the other thing, I don't know, I still need to figure this out, but I need to freaking calibrate this thing now every time before a flight. And when I forget, I'm in trouble. Especially during landing, it's hell to land, because you just touch it and then this aircraft just wants to bank one way. Right, taxi lights on. guys, we're flying real time, so in real time it is busy getting dark there. But it's still freaking hot. I mean, really, 37 degrees is very hot. I suppose this is also still part of that desert area, so it's understandable. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
Approaching 1-1.
Before takeoff procedure complete.
Okay, the cabin is
Ready
secured.
for
Have
before
a good flight.
takeoff checklist.
That's very possible, but I mean, the pedals are the pedals, so I'll have to go dig in Linda somewhere, I don't know. Oh yeah, Chronic, I forgot you there as well. I forgot. So now we have to backtrack, gents. We have to go way to the other side.
Approaching 1-8.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks very nice, eh? Very, very nice. Yes, Neil, welcome. Yeah, I'm doing okay, thanks. I'm actually at work. Just fortunate enough to be able to work and play at the same time today. So yeah, I'm just doing a quick test for Zibo. And I figured I might as well do another one of the Australian tour legs here quickly, you know. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
On runway 29.
Stabilized.
Toga.
Takeoff thrust set.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in this regard, eh?
80 knots. Throttle hold.
Thanks, man.
Remaining 500 remaining.
Shoo,
Caution,
shoo,
on taxiway.
shoo.
On taxiway.
Wow. Gear up.
Gear up.
Bit of a wing wave there as well. Wow. Amazing. Right, so let's turn on course there.
Acceleration altitude.
Christer, yeah, Zibo found quite a few things. We are obviously testing it now to see that it works, and then you'll probably get fix 14 later. Chronic, I figured 97% N1 was good enough, eh? And we made it,
Flaps upset.
Right, so that's the flight. We're gonna go up to 280. We'll check if we can go up to 30. I didn't want to do it on the ground fast, so we'll see. And it's a short flight. It's about an hour 14 or 15 minutes block time, so it's less than an hour flight time. Yeah, no, Christer, that's been fixed. Partially fixed with 14A, but Zibo wants us to test this one because I think this one fixed it properly now. Hey, Scotsman. Well, Killer, welcome. Glad you're watching from Brazil. Good early morning to you. Thanks, Armalite. We'll talk later, man. Good luck.
Approaching transition. Transition altitude. Flight level 100. Landing light switches off.
Excellent, Christer. No. Oh, you're talking about the other guy, a bone killer. Oh, yeah, cool. It does look like it, eh? Awesome. It is. Is there any way to turn down this extreme bumpiness? I mean, I don't want to be funny, but it's kind of exaggerated. Well, there's surface turbulence. I don't think we really need to worry about that. And then there's turbulence shaking. It's the same I use for forever. The difference is I'm now using xEnviro compared to the active sky. You know, so it's one way to find out, right? So Experialistic is off. I'm not sure if we're gonna have the same settings. It's definitely xEnviro, that I can tell you, but it's harsh. It's a bit over-exaggerated. I did too. No, I modified them like crazy. I don't mind it when it happens every now and then, Scotsman, but damn it, it happens way too frequently. I mean, it's not as if I don't have real-world flight experience. You know, I've been in that cockpit a few times, in the jump seat and various other aircraft, but it's never that bad continuously. Right, weather. $1013, my goodness. We'll check it on the way down again. Yeah. My worst turbulence in a Boeing, as a passenger as well, was flying Joburg down to Durban. We went through a thunderstorm, and that was bad. Also, we had a couple of dips and rolls and shakes like nobody's business. It was crazy, man. We flew a Piper. Ooh, what version of the Piper? 32, I think it was, one day between Joburg and Potchefstroom, yeah. And I tell you what, that was also a bit of a shaker. I mean, that thing was really all over the place. Those are my only two real encounters with turbulence. The rest, I must be honest, I was just bloody lucky. Minor turbulence, cool, get that often. Clear air turbulence, no problem. But the two big ones were those two ones. Yeah, flight 737, if you're referring to 13, depending on what you do, you won't find the bugs. But 14 obviously has now fixed it, and obviously if you're watching and referring to this one, yes, it's not doing the same thing. So all good. On 013, gonna start setting up for the approach here because it's a short flight. It's not gonna take long. There's top of descent already, 147 nautical miles. Little bit of fun. Yeah, the kids and the wife didn't think so. My son really didn't appreciate it, and he didn't want to fly for a while afterwards. I had to really convince him to try it again. Then he was fine. When he saw it didn't happen again, he was okay. .1099. Are we sure? Yeah. So it's the same ILS frequency as Darwin, I think. That was the last flight I did with an ILS. Right, we're going to descend to 1,500. And decision height is 260. Oh, come on. There we go. So brakes, you guys can get released, and we can set you down to 28. And what's our landing altitude? Can you believe it? It's gonna be 50. There we go. All set. Right, so if we now go look at this legs page, everything is set up, everything is in place, and there's no issue, no bold writing, and that was one of the problems. The moment you had a runway in your legs page, that's when you get got all those funny writings. Yes, of course, Scotsman. The only thing about takeoff I don't like is sitting in the last row at the back. I really hate that. Those G-forces that you get from the tail. It's not fun. It's bug fixes. There's nothing new, no new features. It's all about bug fixes, making the Zibo more real. Chronic, I believe so. I know of an accident or two where people survived in the tail section, you know. But the takeoff's harsh, man. I just hate it. I prefer the cockpit takeoff. That's obviously the best. Otherwise, the wings, just behind the wing or just in front of the wing, that's amazing.
To level off. Logo light switches off. To level off.
1,000 to go.
That's a good joke, Scotsman. Yeah, it does. Flight 737, this is xEnviro. I got blessed with a copy the other day and I'm busy testing it a bit, so I'm enjoying it. It's really nice. But Scotsman, that's not fun. We all want to be on a plane somewhere. Flight 737 HDR is required by the Zibo mod as well. You can't really fly without HDR in most cases nowadays. You must get some nicotine patches or something when you go on an aircraft, man.
Ready for descent procedure.
Yeah, nice, eh? Are we there yet? Daddy, will you wake me up when we get there? How long? How long? How far do we still have to go? Shut up. Eat your cookies and your sweets. Drink some cool drink. Guys, go raid the galley. I'm sure there's something nice there. We'll be done shortly. Don't worry. No, the seatbelt sign's off. There's no reason to hold in. Just go and do your thing. 31 nautical miles, so you better hurry up. Then we start the descent. Yeah, it's a good one.
Approach top of descent.
Hmm.
Approaching transition. Transition level. Ready for approach checklist. Flight level 100. Landing lights switches on.
Right, we're almost there. Yep. Lots of shaking. Flight 737, Zibo didn't create the LU. Zibo got involved after it was created, and when they married the Zibo systems into the LU aircraft. So don't misconstrue the idea there. Yes, it is, Scotsman. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of an old guy.
Oh, here there's, oh yeah, there's one just come in, like a really old guy.
Yeah, hold on a second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back on stream here with you guys, and there's the runway. It seems. Woo-hoo, we're getting close. It's at 15 nautical miles. Well, Zibo, the handling of the speed during the descent is much better. I must congratulate you. It's really, really good. I mean, obviously now it's up to me to bring it, you know, into acceptable speeds and all, but during the normal descent, that was really marvelous.
1000 to level off.
So I'm gonna lift my speakers up a bit, yeah, get more volume through. See if we can hear that minimum call out. Yeah, it's nice, eh? Nice lights. It looks better getting it from the FMC, you know. I've done it many times. I did it previously in the stream, same stream here today now. I was just lazy. And I've just touched the freaking trim wheel. Sorry. Apologies. As I moved my hand, it just brushed against it.
Flaps 5 set. Flaps 15 set. Localizer capture. Glide slope capture.
Yeah, it's a bit close to my right hand.
Prepare for landing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Ah.
Flaps 30 set.
So it was at 49. As far as it must be 49. Nope, my mistake. Sorry, it is 146. So it is even more beautiful. Yeah, there you go. So cool. Okay, concentrate. Thank you, guys.
Thousand feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch,
Taxi
altitude
lights
set.
on.
Approaching 2-4.
Hey, Farouk, welcome.
500. Clear to land runway 24.
500.
Let's listen.
400.
Flying slow.
300.
Flying slow. Flying slow.
200. Minimums.
Minimums, and I've set it to minimum.
100.
Okay,
50. 40. 30.
bit low.
20. 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use.
145, Krister, not bad.
Remaining.
60 knots. Yeah. Great landing. You are professional.
Thank you, Linda. Alright, let's get off here. Thanks, Neil. After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
Krister, I'm not sure today, huh? Maybe a cook sister recipe.
After landing procedure complete.
Yeah, you need the next update. I'm pretty sure, Zibo, I'm not sure when you're going to release it, but it looks good to me. So I suppose sometime today we'll get the release.
Flaps upset.
Another recipe. Yeah, this time we're going to put some chili or something in it, man. Sweet chili, you know? Yeah, I think he'll love the fix. He needs the fix, the free copy of this fix. Farouk, it's just bug fixes. Zibo is again trying to just make the mod a little bit more realistic. So there's quite a few little things in the Lex page and the VREF page and things like that. Just small little things, reference speeds and stuff, just to make it more real. Yeah, we want the aircraft obviously to represent, you know, the real thing as close as possible. Shutdown procedure.
Shutdown procedure. Ready for shutdown procedure.
Yeah, it's a dream. It is really, it's a massive big dream. Right, let's file the flight. Zibo, I hope you're happy. Let me know if there's anything else. But I need to quickly do a couple of jobs first. Then we can test again later this evening. But just FYI.
Shutdown procedure complete. Ready for shutdown checklist.
Well, guys, girls, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back sometime tonight, I suppose. But like I just mentioned, other things to do now. Thanks for watching, and have a super rest of your day, whatever you do. Bye-bye.